This is what Duluth's Lester Park Golf Course looked like in 2020. Many golfers considered it one of the region's best public places to play. Fast forward to today, a boarded up clubhouse and overgrown greens and fairways 2 years after the city closed it for good for budget reasons. Good evening, I'm Dan Wolf.
And I'm Laura Lee. Thanks for joining us. Even though it looks like a relic of the past, there may be new hope for Lester.
Duluth Mayor Roger Reinert has launched an initiative to reopen and revamp the course, creating the Lester Park Recreation Working Group.
Northern News Now's Michaela Wrench is looking into the work they plan to do.
I'm a Lakeside resident, played here for 10 or 15 years.
Tim Meyer cherished every moment he played golf here at Lester. Memories that are increasingly tough to recall when looking at the overgrown mess it's become.
A lot of people were upset that the course had closed and wanted to see it reopen.
Meyer says he'd love to see the course return, so he helped create the Lester Park Recreation Working Group, working closely with Mayor Reinert to make the idea become reality.
Bring a group together that represents multiple activities, year-round activities, including but not limited to golf.
Activities like skiing, biking, hiking, even possibly an ice sheet have all been proposed. There's even talks of a housing development. But according to Mayor Reinert, at the end of the day, the group has no official decision-making authority or power.
Like, just under my authority as mayor, I'm asking them to gather and take the next 6 months, now until April 1st, to see what, if anything, is possible.
Reinert also asked the group to evaluate nonprofit and alternative third-party management, where the property is owned by the city of Duluth, but the recreational asset is operated and managed by an external partner, like Chester Bowl, Hartley Nature Center, and the Lake Superior Zoo. Mayor Reinert says there's a lot that would need to be done, but for community members like Meyer, the work would be well worth it.
Fairways always were so beautiful, nice and green, and course is in good shape always, so it's a beautiful course.
In Duluth, Michaela Wrench, Northern News Now.
Michaela, thank you. Although it is unclear what will ever happen with Lester, Meyer says that he's already hearing from people who want to know how to help fund the project. Meantime, renovations at Duluth's lone public course are ongoing. At Enger, crews are installing a new irrigation system, improving fairways, and restoring a creek. 18 holes and the driving range are currently open. All 27 will reopen when the project wraps up next year.